Waiver gems and trade block plays. Win today and plan for days. Waiver gems and trade block plays. Win today and plan for days. Waiver gems and trade block plays. Win today and plan for days.
Win your league, stack that bread, or start a boom and lose instead. Sunday Surefire, let's go.
Waiver gems and trade block plays. Win today and plan for days.
So
Waiver
we might have
gems
to
and
go
trade
without the
block
intro,
plays.
fellas.
Win today and plan for days.
Just rock out to the music, dude.
Yeah, we'll just do 45 minutes of music. There we go.
For some reason, I
There you
couldn't
go.
hear it, but there you go. A little tough.
Hey,
Great
good
way to
start,
start
good
out, there, guys. Go ahead,
Strong
Pat.
start. Strong start. Well, I guess without any further ado, welcome everybody to another episode of the Sunday Surefire podcast. I'm your host, Pat Martin, a.k.a. The Commish. I got my two best friends alongside me here today, my co-host, Aaron Brown,
Hey.
and my other co-host, Ethan Weaver.
Commish, how we doing?
Doing good, boys. Doing good. We are on the eve of Super Bowl 60. It's coming up here in just a few days. Very exciting stuff, especially for Ethan and I over here in New England as diehard Patriots fans. There he is, rocking the TB12 gear. TB12 is not joining us for the Super Bowl, nor does he have a dog in this fight, according to him, if you ask him.
Yes.
But whatever, it's all good. Tom's done enough for us where he can sit this one out. We got our new guy Drake May here throwing the rock around in New England, going up against a really formidable Seattle Seahawks opponent in Super Bowl 60. One of the cool things about this podcast is that it feels like just about every year that we've been doing this, at least one of us has had one of our teams playing in the Super Bowl. The majority of that run has been Aaron's Kansas City Chiefs up here in the Super Bowl, and now the Patriots getting back in there. That's all we're going to say about the Chiefs. We're all enjoying them being out of it this year, and the Patriots are back where they belong, playing in week 2 for the Patriots. It used to be week 1 was the AFC Championship game back in the day, and we used to call Super Bowl weekend week 2 here in New England. So it's nice to get back to the way things should be out there for sure. But we're going to be talking about just Super Bowl tonight. We have a lot more dynasty stuff coming down the pike. We're going to talk rookie running backs next week. Then we'll get into the wide receivers, quarterbacks, tight ends from there. Before you know it, the combine and the draft will be here. Plenty of time to get to all that. We're just going to be focusing on the big game today. So I guess if one of you guys want to get rocking and rolling, just maybe kind of like how things are looking heading into the week.
I'll start as a fellow Patriots fan, and I'm obviously very excited for this game. It's awesome that this Patriot team, who's had back-to-back 4-win seasons, are back in the promised land, back in the Super Bowl, as you said at Commish, where we belong. So it's nice. Drake May, what a second-year ascension. Vrabel, he has this team so locked and loaded. You just hear the players talk on media night or throughout the week, radio interviews, and they just seem so locked in, laser focused. They are definitely harping on the being disrespected, especially that defense. Everybody always talks about the opposing defense the Patriots are playing, and this week it's Seattle, who has a very, very good defense, arguably the best defense they're going to face this year. So it's been a murderer's row for Drake May and the offense. Hopefully that offense can put up more points than they have been, but that defense I think is going to be able to rattle Darnold. I think the Patriots are going to be able to get pressure up the middle with Barmore and Milton Williams. I think that's a massive check on the Patriots side of this game. I think if they can get Sam off his game, maybe he will turn into the regular season Sam Darnold, where he led the league led the all QBs with 20 turnovers. He has yet to throw a pick this postseason, so hopefully that changes on Sunday. But I think it's going to be a very tight game. Obviously, two great defenses. I think I want to see Drake May rise to the moment and put that offense in his back and start making some plays. But it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to it. But I think it's going to be definitely a defensive close fought battle. But it's essentially what quarterback, what offense is going to make the most plays in this one, because there's probably not going to be a ton of opportunities with the way these two defenses have been playing.
Yeah, good call there, Ethan. A lot of similar notes. I mean, I guess kudos for you guys having the guts to come on and talk your favorite team on Super Bowl. I know, I was a little nervous talking Chiefs as well. There's second time we'll bring them up, I guess. But a lot of the same notes. I mean, this week, kind of looking over the game. I know we're talking bets tonight as well. It's not like a normal like DFS matchup. Throughout the season that we talk, there's not really any huge exploits, between two teams where it's, on paper, it's really easy to kind of dial in to say, okay, well, they're horrible against the run or something like that. As Ethan said, two very strong defenses, no really obvious exploits. So I do think it's going to come down to, situational football, who can make crucial plays on third down. The one note I do think is kind of interesting when I was kind of looking over the teams is New England plays man about 38% of the time. So I think that's when it comes to situational football, can Patriots deliver on third down? That's usually Diggs is the first option. Diggs and JSN on each team against man. But then I think for both teams, it's more who's those second reads. Okay, can the second reads come through with like the Hunter Henrys of the world and Rashid Shaheed? So those are the type of players I think that they need to kind of step up. I know there's more positional player role, positional players on both teams too. But Kamish, I'll let you have a little say, but. I think the defenses will kind of show up. Virtually no run game as well is kind of my predictions there.
Yeah, a lot to dissect going into the game. We can get into a little bit more like the game flow stuff and how we think it's going to go and different matchups and all that. I guess I'll kind of start more so heading into the week. Overall, I think the Patriots are in a really good position just in terms of where the overall kind of discussion around the game is focused. It's not quite where it was all the way back in 2001 when the Patriots were 14-point underdogs against the Rams by any means. But all the hype really is on Seattle, and I get it. They're a really good team. Obviously their defense is number one in the league in points against. The Patriots are coming in at number two, and the Patriots offense has struggled throughout this postseason, at least compared to what we saw throughout the regular season. A lot of that had to do with the defenses they were playing, like Ethan mentioned. Some of it might be a little bit Drake May's banged up, but I think the bad weather that they played in also kind of played a role. Obviously the second half in Denver was a complete mess, and Ethan was at the first couple playoff games in New England, and it was especially the Houston game was essentially a snowstorm. The game was going on, and so it's they haven't had the most ideal circumstances. So I think playing in a warm weather environment will be good for this offense for the first time in over a month that they're going to be playing in a better environment. If you look on the Seahawks sideline too, like I said, they're a really good team. They came out of the best division in football, so I get the respect that they're getting. But I think they also have a lot going on as well. I mean, they just announced a couple of days ago that the team's being put up for sale after the Super Bowl, and their current offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, has tentatively accepted the Raiders head coaching position. So we've seen this before as Patriots fans when their teams get to this big game, and these coordinators start taking interviews or they accept other coaching positions and they know they're going to be going elsewhere after the Super Bowl. It's kind of one of those situations where there's a lot of moving parts this time of year for teams that are out of contention, making staff hires. They have to add offensive, defensive coordinators, fill out their assistants, and they're kind of maybe even look at some, maybe some draft stuff, some free agency, things like that is kind of at least somewhat on their mind at this time as well. So it's impossible to put 100% of your effort into getting your offense ready or your defense ready for the Super Bowl if you're also juggling becoming the head coach of another NFL franchise. So they have a lot going on there. And I think kind of the Patriots defense too is maybe being overlooked a little bit in this game. People just want to talk about their offense being down. And Ethan, I think, made a great point too when he talks about the Milton Williams and Christian Barmore having today. I think in particular, one of the matchups I'm circling in favor of the Patriots is the guard Anthony Bradford, who plays for Seattle, this PFF blocking grades. He has a 50.6 overall, which is 70 out of 81 graded guards in 2025. It's not like he's really good at one or the other. He's a 54.7 run blocking grade and a 40.8 pass blocking grade. So what I would say to you, sir, is good luck against Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. And it could make running the ball difficult, and it could get Sam Darnold off of his spot. So we'll say the predictions here for a little bit later in the show, but just kind of wanted to throw all that out there and see what you guys thought about it before we get to the game flow.
You're muted there, Ethan.
It's okay. I'm back. No, I couldn't agree more, especially with that last point on Milton Williams. I could have swore you were reading from my notes because I had that exact those exact stats for the Anthony Bradford, the right guard of Seattle. He obviously hasn't been playing well, so that's a little sneak preview into one of my player props heading into Sunday.
I love it. I think that on top of, you guys mentioned the defenses with Seattle being strong, but, New England does have a, top 10 pass blocking team grade as well, too. So I think you mentioned just overall, Drake May is going to be able to either have a little bit more time or he's going to be able to, make some plays on his feet, extend some plays as well. So that's going to be interesting to see. I think it goes back to those, third downs and stuff like that. So we'll definitely see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I guess we'll kind of go into like the game flow of how we think it's going to pan out. We've both, between the three of us, have seen a lot of Super Bowls that our teams have been in, so we've kind of paid extra close attention to them. And I think in this one, I see the first quarter kind of getting off to a little bit of a slow start where the two teams sort of feel each other out, kind of figure out what the opposition's doing on both sides of the ball. I think a big thing teams that go into these big games try to do is minimize the mistakes in the early going so they're not playing catch up for 50 plus minutes. So I think that's kind of the approach both teams will take in the first 15 minutes of this game. I don't think at any point in the game one team's going to be any more than 10 or so points ahead of the other one. I think these teams are pretty close across the board. Ultimately, I look at this being a close game into the fourth quarter, which is good for the neutral fans, kind of keep hold of their attention throughout. And I think one X factor that the Pats might have is Drake May's legs. Seattle likes to run a lot of twists, a lot of games, a lot of stunts up front, and when they do that, they can cause havoc and create pressure. But it also creates opportunities for the quarterback to escape because it's really tough to be disciplined in your gaps. So when you are running those kind of exotic pressures from your front four, so if they're going to sit in zone behind that, it might be a way to mitigate Drake May, but it also leaves opportunities for guys like Stephon Diggs or Hunter Henry who can sit in those zones, and Drake May can get the ball kind of quickly too. So it's kind of the chess game, the game within the game that goes into it. It's just kind of one thing that I think as the game progresses, we'll see more and more of that. But I'm kind of curious to see how that pans out. The whole, is Seattle going to stay with some of their more, exotic looks that they give from their front four, or are they going to kind of morph back into a conservative approach as the game progresses?
I agree with the points you made. I think the game flow is going to be very similar to what you said. Like a lot of Super Bowls, they start off slow and then the offenses start to wake up a little bit. But, I mean, these defenses have been kind of the stars of the playoffs. I know Sam Darnold and that offense cooked against the Rams, and I think that game against the Rams is a big reason why the Seattle Seahawks are plus 4.5. They have been playing better overall, collectively, defensively and offensively. So I see why they're favored, but I do think it's going to be a close game heading into the fourth quarter. But I do think the Patriots at the end edge it out. I don't know if you guys have some score predictions, but I guess I'll go there. I'm going to go Patriots 20. Seattle Seahawks 16. I think there's going to be at least a couple of field goals on both sides, but I think Drake May leads a touchdown drive in the fourth quarter to put him up top. But I mean, it's going to be a good game. Two well coached teams. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I think anymore it's like in the betting world, it's pretty tough to predict games. I mean, they can go one way or they can go the other extreme. I guess the way I am, kind of leaning is, virtually, I think I mentioned it, just virtually no running game for either team. I think most of the rushing yards would be from both quarterbacks with Darnold and May. I think with Seattle's defense, they allow like one of the lowest depth per target in both man and zone, with only 5.8 yards and 7 yards between the two. So I think, as I was mentioning, like the shorter dink and dunks, if the Patriots can kind of get Henry cooking, I think it might be a good game for Hunter Henry. But yeah, definitely shorter throws. But I think alternatively on the Seahawks side, I think they need more of the chunk plays. Like I think they need like, maybe 20, 30-yard gains. But it's going to come down to, I mean, there's going to be punts in this game too. I think the over under, it's funny. I looked up special teams props, but yeah, you got, I think 7.5 over under with punts in the game too. So I was leaning even towards taking the over on punts as well. But as far as overall game, I stayed away from, I guess, overall like money line, but to make it a little interesting, I put the game is 45.5 point spread right now. To make it a little bit more fun, I actually most people like betting overs, but I'm going to take the under, but slide it down to 42.5, and you can get a little bit of plus money that way. We'll look for a good old fashioned defensive game that way.
This is what happens when you give the Sunday Surefire team a full 2 weeks without a football game. We start looking up how many punts we think are going to take place in the Super Bowl, and that's what we come out with. So it's always fun when Aaron gets cooking and stuff like that. We'll see if he has any other fun props for us down the road. I mentioned one of the X factors was Drake May and using his legs to create first downs. Aaron kind of echoed that too. I think that's a big part of it. I mean, kind of overall, I look at the two quarterbacks. I mean, in a vacuum, who would you rather have, Drake May or would you have Sam Darnold? I think the answer is pretty clear. It's Drake May. The guy's going to finish in the top 2 in MVP voting. I think he's probably going to lose out to Stafford in the end. But listen, what do we know about Sam Darnold? He's been playing really well lately. You got to give him a lot of credit for that. Ethan and I know, we've talked about this before. We're big fans of Sam Darnold. We like him. We think he's a good player. He's been a really fun story to watch his kind of reclamation project take place. But if you really look at Sam Darnold, like what eventually he turns into a pumpkin, right, in these big games. And again, he's avoided that to this point. And Seattle's done a really good job masking some of his weaknesses, but I do think he's going to have at least a moment or two at some point where the old Sam Darnold comes out, and the Patriots can take advantage of that. So I lean into the quarterback battle, kind of siding on the favor of the Patriots. I also look at the coaching difference in this game too. I mean, Mike Vrabel went to 4 Super Bowls as a player, and Josh McDaniels is coaching in his 10th Super Bowl, which is crazy because he's only 49 years old. Like, he's just been around New England so long that he's been to so many of these games. And the game itself, the whole game data leading into it, the game itself, the halftime is longer. There's a lot of little factors that people don't really realize about these games that make it different from a typical NFL game. And I think that the experience side of that is on the Patriots side, along with the quarterback advantage. So while I do think it's going to be a close game throughout, I have 24-20 Patriots. I think it just goes under by a nose. But overall, I am picking the Patriots on the money line. They're plus 195 in the minute at the moment on the money line. I put a little bit of money on that as well. So I do have some more props to get to. I guess I'll throw my first one out here before we and then we'll kind of go just more betting heavy as we close it up here. Like I said early, we all agreed it's likely going to be a slow start to the game. So I like first drive punt, regardless of whoever gets the ball first. So that's the Patriots. It's minus 113. If the Seahawks get their hands on the ball first, it's actually plus 123 for a first drive punt. So, I mean, I wouldn't even hate to call it parlaying punt to start the game. But, maybe see what the field position looks like before you do that after the opening kickoff. But either way, I think I would go punt, first drive punt for no matter who touches the ball first.
I like that prop a lot based on how we thought the game flow was going to go. Slow starts, a lot of nerves, especially for two quarterbacks that haven't been here before. Drake May, obviously, in his second season. Sam Darnold, a player that's been on many different teams. This is obviously the biggest game of his life. And just to touch on Sam Darnold a little more from your previous points, and throughout this playoffs, he's played well, 4 touchdowns, no picks. As I alluded to earlier, he had the 20 turnovers this season, 14 interceptions. But if you look at his playoff run, he didn't really have to do anything against the Niners. The Niners were decimated. The Seattle Seahawks rolled over them. And then he's playing a team in the Rams that he's faced 3 times. It was his 3rd time playing that team. I know he struggled mightily in that second game against the Rams, but when you play a team for the 3rd time, obviously you get a lot of tape on them. They're more predictable, and it's probably easier to see what's coming. The Patriots, I think, are going to be able to dial up some schemes, some looks that Sam Darnold is going to get confused. And I hope he's seeing ghosts out there. So we need the New York Jets Sam Darnold to come back, or the Sam Darnold that played against the Rams in 2025, who got sacked 9 times. I know that's actually a tough game for Aaron Downtown Brown.
It is.
I didn't mean to bring that up. It cost him a lot of money.
I'll never bring that up.
But no. So yeah, back to the first drive punts. I think that's a good call. I think the commission's been doing well on that bet this year so far.
Yeah, I like the first drive punt bet in general. It's fun. I think, the Super Bowl in general, it's kind of fun to find bets that are boring, because it's a perfect game to bet on boring bets. I mean, you got, over or under on the national anthem and stuff like that, right? But I think it's one of the games where if you can find the goofy bets, or we got novelty. We'll bring up novelty probably closer to the end of the show. But I mean, it's one where, as Kamish said, there's so much going on. You got 2 weeks to prepare for it. You got so many different bets that don't usually come up. One, I guess, I threw it in the chat. I like the, moving the spread to 42.5, taking the under. But the other one I thought was, I'm going to say it's my lock, is another special teams. That's another boring bet, but I like it. It's the New England Patriots total field goal yardage over 54.5 yards. That's only minus 115. So it's like you got 2 30-yard field goals. You hit. You got it, right? So
that's probably a lock. That's probably a lock.
I like that one quite a bit. So that's actually my my game bet. I guess as we're talking game flow, talk the over, talk that one, and we can maybe talk player props in a little bit. But that's my favorite game flow bet.
Well, if it's going to be anything like it was in Denver last week, I think Borregales might have to make 3 20-yard field goals to make that one come through. The conditions will be a little bit nicer, of course, which is good. But yeah, even the one he hit in Denver wasn't convincing from 28 yards away. He just kind of stuck it in the right upright. But yeah, that's a fun one. The combined field goal yardage. That's what I can honestly. I've never bet anything like that before, but that's a fun one.
That is.
I've talked up the Patriots a lot so far, so I am going to give love to a Seattle player here. I should say too, this is just a kind of a boring anytime touchdown prop that I'm going with, but DraftKings is running a 50% first TD score boost as well. So you can take this guy anytime, or you could even go a lot more aggressive and go first touchdown. I'll give you the odds for both. I'm going to go AJ Barner to score a touchdown in this game. Anytime is plus 240. First TD is plus 1,200. So if you slap on that 50% boost, you're looking at plus 1,800, which is $5 to win 95. So big money if it hits. Patriots have been susceptible to the tight end position at different points throughout the season. I think they're going to have a plan for JSN, and I like the Patriots corners enough to kind of lock down the secondary pieces, whether that be Cooper Kupp or Rashid Shaheed, maybe Jake Bobo slipping in there. But I do think if they're going to be weak somewhere, if they are really hyper-focused on JSN as they get into the red areas, I think Barner could slip through and hit the end zone here. So I think he's worth betting on. I actually did toss $5 on him here as first touchdown score at plus 1,800.
It's unacceptable. I hate it. It can't happen. No. Obviously, we have to show some love to Seattle, but no. I mean, to your point, that with the Patriots defense being susceptible to the tight end, AJ Barner kind of has been a staple of the Seattle offense all year. I mean, if it's not JSN, it's really just a smorgasbord of whoever. I mean, Cooper Kupp has less than 600 yards. It's all JSN, and then the other guys are just sprinkled in. So it really could be anybody. I think if I was a betting man, which I am, I think AJ Barner is a good bet. Yeah,
I like it. I like AJ Barner. I was looking at him. I think as I was mentioning, just New England's gonna have to do those I think with other way around. I'm sorry. New England and being in man 34%. I think, if you can lock up the first read on both teams, you got to look at those second and third options. So yeah, I love Barner. I like Hunter Henry on the opposite side too. So it's funny, Kamish, I have the other tight end as well for anytime touchdown scorer.
Now
And I
that's a
have
hell of a bet. That's a
there you
hell
go.
of a bet.
I got Hunter Henry. It's funny, I actually didn't write down his singular because I threw him in a parlay instead. I want to say
Of
he's in
course
the
you did.
200
Naturally.
as well. But yeah, I went. It's kind of along the same lines. I like the second, third options with both teams. I will look it up. He's plus 235, so very close to Barner. So I'll throw that in the chat as well. And yeah, I know, Ethan. It sounds like that's a home run, right?
Oh, it's a lock. Another lock by Aaron Downtown Brown.
Dang, look at that. I'm like
Gotta
the new
clean up.
Patriots expert here.
I want Aaron to be right about that so bad, and I would love to be wrong. So let's go Hunter Henry first time touchdown. But I think the juice is on Barner there for sure. I mean, hell, first touchdown with a boost on it, the juice is on anybody you go with. So let's hope Aaron's right on this one. Ethan, do you have any other props you want to toss out there?
Yeah, no, I have a few. I'll go the defensive side of the football to kind of tie into all the Sam Darnold, I guess, for lack of a better term, hate in terms of the turnovers and the Anthony Bradford right guard and interior line issues of the Seattle Seahawks. I have Milton Williams for a sack at plus 212. I think Milton Williams is going to have a massive day. He's had 2 sacks thus far this postseason. He's been playing great football. I believe he has like 17 pressures. He's been getting back there and hurrying the quarterback. I think it's a massive mismatch between the interior offensive line of Seattle and Milton Williams. So I think he gets to Darnold. That's plus 212. And then I think Sam Darnold, as I said, is going to start seeing some ghosts out there, and he's going to throw an interception, his first interception of the postseason, which is minus 138. So you can take those solo, or if you parlay them together, it's plus 370. So I like the New England Patriots defense making some plays against Sam Darnold.
There are definitely going to be plays to be made out there against Sam Darnold for sure. And we talked about the interior of the Seattle line, which is where they're vulnerable. I think it's going to be Milton Williams or it's going to be Christian Barmore. It's like if you double Milton Williams, which you probably should, objectively, that might be the guy you want to double if you're Seattle. It could leave Barmore as a beneficiary of that. And we saw him get through the line in Denver, a good offensive line in Denver last week. So maybe he'll be the benefactor of that again in Super Bowl 60. Certainly hope so as a Patriots fan. I only got one more bet to toss out here, and it's naturally it's a parlay. Aaron will be proud. Probably not quite the same juice that Aaron's rolling with, but it's a 3-legger. It's Patriots on an alternate spread of minus 2.5. Like I said, I think they're going to win by 4. Give myself a little bit of wiggle room here. Field goal wins it for you. So Pats minus 2.5. Drake May 30+ rushing yards, and then an alternate under of 47.5. So tacking on a field goal to the over under, and that gets you plus 500 odds. So again, it's Pats minus 2.5. Drake May plus 30 rushing yards, and then alternate under 47.5.
I got it. I think I got it. Let's see. Check the screen. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Brown on it. He's on it.
Nice. I like it. So, I know I'm usually the guy that has these crazy parlays. I did have to kind of go with my gut and instinct on this game. I think there's going to be some, traditional, hardcore just football play, defensive games. So I kind of went back to the roots here, and I just to get a little bit higher plus money, it's still going to be a plus 950. But not quite the crazy.
Oh, that's it. Come on, yeah, that's weak, Eric. Come on.
But all I did is, unfortunately, I could not add my New England Patriots field goal yardage to a parlay, or else I would have, because, like I said, that's my lock. But instead, I got the Hunter Henry anytime touchdown in my under 42.5, and that's the plus 950. So I could throw that in the chat as well.
It's only plus 950 from Aaron
I
downtown.
know,
Brown.
man.
There's a little
I let
disappointment,
you guys
to be honest
down.
with you.
Yeah, I think the score might be harder to get than the Henry touchdown, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could definitely see a scenario where both offenses start to come alive in the second half. So, I mean, the Patriots, like we've been saying, they've been playing in bad weather against great defenses. Sam Darnold and that Seattle offense has been cooking. Sam Darnold played great against the Rams, so there is a scenario where that over does hit, but obviously we've been heavy on the under so far in this show. And I guess I'll just throw out a couple, two more player props just to piggyback on the commissions. I liked he had Drake May in his parlay over 30 rushing yards. If you take him over 40, it's plus 104. I think that's probably easy money. He's eclipsed this in 2 of the 3 playoff games. 60. He had 66 against the Chargers, 65 against the Denver Broncos, 10 attempts in each game. Seattle, as Kamish said, I think it's going to force him to use his legs. And it's, I mean, you win this game, but you're getting Lombardi. So I think he's going to do everything he can with his legs to obviously put points on the board. And then my last one I just wanted to kind of throw out there with Travion Henderson, right? He's been kind of taking a back seat to Ramondre, especially in the Denver Broncos game. I don't know how much that was just, hey, we trust Ramondre Stevenson in the snow. Let's put the rookie on the bench. We trust Ramondre to hold on the football, get the tough yardage. All we got to do is not turn the ball over, and we're going to win this game. Because if you look at the other 2 games in the playoffs, against the Chargers, they basically had an even split, 10 and 9 carries, Mondre getting 10. Then it was 16-12 in the Houston game. So I do think Henderson isn't just going to completely go away in this game. And if you look at his props, it's like he's not going to even play. I mean, 25 yards rushing for Henderson is plus 145. So I don't hate putting a little juice on Travion Henderson.
I agree. I think just his receptions like plus money with just 2. So I think with the defense that does not allow very long throws, I think Henderson can get involved. He just got to catch 2 passes to get plus money. So I did notice that as well with the props. But they love some Ramondre over there in New England.
He's been good
and all.
Which is crazy because at the start of the year we were like, this guy would have been cut if he wasn't on a extension that they couldn't get out of. I mean, because he was putting the ball on the ground like twice a game in the first month of the year, which is crazy. And then he's become super reliable. I will say, watching him carry the mail in the snow the last couple of weeks, I'm like, please don't fumble the ball, because it's one of those situations where it's like the only way we're going to lose to Denver is if we put the ball on the ground. So, but they played a clean game a week ago as a team, which was good to see. I would love to see Henderson get more involved. I mean, just even if Josh McDaniels is scheming up like 1 or 2 plays just to try to get him and scheme up something to get him in space, because he hasn't had space. And then when he's had opportunities, he hasn't necessarily made the best decisions with the opportunities that he's gotten. And where it's winning time, it's kind of like, we can't mess around trying to develop a rookie. We'd love to have you develop, but we got to win the Lombardi, like you said. So, that's what's on the line this week. Hopefully he goes over. Hopefully he does it all in one play, and they get him something going where it's a big home run play and it makes a difference in the game. So, rooting for Travion, wanted to turn it around, and hopefully that starts on Super Bowl Sunday.
All right, fellas, do you guys got any novelty props? I got one to bring up.
What color's the Gatorade, Aaron? Tell us.
Blue. It's got to be blue. Both teams have blue, right?
That's your department. I'll leave that. I don't know.
Right. No. It's funny. I like the funny. I like going funny with the props and whatnot. It definitely is fun to do, especially if you're not like a huge football fan. I know that can be fun to some. I think the novelty prop that is the funniest that I've seen that I enjoy is the prop to watch is does Seattle throw a touchdown pass inside the 1 in this game. It's plus 1,100 odds, and I think I know you guys don't want it, but I think it's one of the funniest props I've seen that popped up because I saw it immediately.
You don't want it? No, go ahead, throw it inside the one. By all means, do it. Go ahead and do it.
Right.
No, see how it goes.
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying no is because there's no way they're going to make that mistake twice, especially with the way Seattle's been running the football. That's funny. That's
right.
Funny.
I think it's hilarious. It's there at least. But it is funny because you that gets brought up all the time here, especially with this rematch of the Super Bowl. I as many times as I've seen that you replay and that play by Malcolm Butler. It was a reel that I saw recently. I never realized the play right before it, how tremendous the tackle Hightower made to stop him at the one. He literally threw the guard off of him and tackled him with his shoulder. And that's a play that doesn't get brought up, but it looked like it was a walk-in touchdown. And that play never really gets brought up too much.
Yeah, that whole sequence, there's like two unsung heroes. It was one Hightower who made an unbelievable play to basically bench press the O-lineman off and to make that tackle on Marshawn Lynch. And then Brandon Browner on the play where Malcolm intercepted the football. He jammed Curse so much at the line. He didn't allow Curse to get up the field to delay Malcolm Butler in his approach to the football. So he was, just as much he should be getting just as much credit as Butler on that play, because if Browner doesn't jam Curse there, Butler doesn't make that play. So obviously one of the best plays as a Patriot fan, one of the craziest best plays I've ever seen, because you went from, oh my God, the Patriots are going to lose the Super Bowl to, hey, we just won. So it was just nuts. That's
a day we'll never forget as Patriots fans. That sequence was insane. We were watching the game together, and I think we almost went through the floor in the living room, going nuts in those final couple of minutes. Just like every emotion you could have was on full display that day. So it was fun, a fun ride. Anyone got anything else? Any other props to toss out there? If you got it, just spit them out here at the end.
I'll fire some right now. I have one novelty. It was in the novelty prop section of DraftKings, but I kind of liked it because I feel like we always see this in the Super Bowl. But total players to have a pass attempt over 2.5 is plus 160. I feel like there's going to be some kind of trick play like Philly or something where a receiver or running back is going to throw the football. So I don't think it's a bad novelty prop there.
That's a good one. I like that. But or if you had a QB injury, then you get it right there.
Oh no, exactly. You get one QB injury and they miss a series and they throw a pass. If Drew Lock throws a pass, we're good.
Young Jeezy in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Need it.
Oh man. Imagine. I don't want to wish any ill will on the Sam Darnold at all. But imagine if something happens to Sam Darnold and Drew Lock plays in the Super Bowl, the hate the Patriots would get for the run to the Lombardi. So hopefully Sam Darnold just stays healthy and they beat him fair and square here.
The way things have gone for the Patriots, that's probably should be minus like 500. That something's going to happen to Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I was going to say, you just called it.
It's been great. It's been an easy road, but you know what? I don't care, man. I
don't care either.
People talk about the 1999 Rams like they were this juggernaut, great offense. For 25 years, I haven't heard one person say, "Oh, their schedule was easy." Well, the Patriots this year have the easiest schedule since the 1999 Rams. So from this point forward, I expect, for consistency's sake, everyone to say, well, the Rams had an easy schedule. That's why they won in 1999. So if you're going to be consistent, make sure you say that about the Rams going forward. So, but, I don't expect people to do that. But that's it's kind of a fun thing that's come up over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Anything else, boys? Any last final parting thoughts here on the game, whether it's props or anything else other than go Pats?
You took the words out of my mouth. Go Pats.
Aaron, who are you rooting for?
Go Seattle. No, I gotta be. I gotta break it up a little bit. No, I'm. You know what? I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for my bets. I'm rooting for myself.
Yeah, that's a smart man.
Fair enough. Well, boys, the next time we get on here, we'll have the champion in the books. Hopefully, Ethan and I are coming off a parade down in Boston. Fingers crossed, but it should be a good game either way. And until next time, folks, peace.